With increasing global temperatures and a deteriorating climate, the environment has a direct impact on weather-dependent industries like the ski resort industry. Our study is meant to focus on the relationship businesses in this industry have with the environment itself and how they react with each other. A systems thinking viewpoint is used to identify how these actors react to one another, help one another, and hurt one another. Ski resorts' effects on the environment center around development. Development of ski trails damages environments, clear cuts areas, and are heavily used, making the areas uninhabitable for most species. Diversity and richness of bird species is found to be lowest near ski runs. Artificial snowmaking counteracts natural weather patterns and can interfere with local vegetation and animal life. Construction and development increases runoff, decreases water and air quality, and requires destructive infrastructure like sewer systems and power lines. So climate change also has its own negative effects on the ski resorts themselves. The Interdisciplinary Center on Climate Change at the University of Waterloo in Ontario reports that by 2039, less than half of the 103 ski resorts in the Northeast will be able to be open for a 100-day season. Less annual snowfall, more moisture content in the snow, less snow cover, earlier wet avalanches, these things all make for worse skiing and contribute to a reduction in skier visits and reduced revenue and viability for ski resorts. Park City Resort estimated that by 2050, the potential impacts range from a $160.4 million loss in output, which includes direct revenues from skiers, indirect revenues from their business in the community as well. And they also estimated a $27.2 million lost earnings and about 1,500 lost jobs. So resorts do have some choices when they want to reduce their impact. Reducing and offsetting electricity use and carbon emissions and reducing water usage are some of the main things that they've been doing. In order to achieve these reductions, resorts are investing in vehicles that run on biodiesel and using better insulation from recycled cotton in lodging facilities. Some resorts have even been experimenting with implementing lift systems that are powered by wind turbines. Squaw Valley is a good example. They're in California. They have been recycling and composting a lot. They've been reusing their kitchen oil for different uses for fuel. They've been investing in energy-efficient LED light bulbs. They have implemented electric car charging stations and have shuttling and carpooling station programs for their employees. Their reduced CO2 emissions have been reduced by more than 1,700 tons in 2013 with a cost savings of $219,000. Park City, which is in Utah, is rated really high on environmental responsibility and have reduced carbon emissions by almost 70% in the year between 2012 and 2013. They've been doing this using renewable energies like solar, improving their machinery and their snowmaking to be more energy efficient. They have found an annual energy savings of $262,000. The National Ski Area Association has recently initiated a climate challenge. They challenge resorts to take an inventory of their emissions, identify the direct and indirect emissions that they may have, and then make a pledge and report back and reevaluate about how they're doing to reduce these emissions. Park City, Squaw Valley, and Sugarbush here in Vermont are all participating and performing very well in this challenge. Sugarbush has also partnered with the U.S. Forest Service and the Vermont Institute of Natural Science in order to create educational programs and initiatives woven into both their summer program offerings and the winter ski and ride education programs. The effects of climate change are so widespread, vast, and inevitable that these resorts go to extents to improve emissions, but they cannot actually affect widespread global change. They instead are focusing on adapting to their changing conditions, making more snow, diversifying to combat the seasonality, things of that nature. Our recommendation for these resorts is to continue with their current initiatives and keep striving to cut emissions. Even though they may not be affecting climate change largely, they are cutting costs and improving from a business standpoint. Ski resort industry leaders are setting an example for other resorts and could enact industry-wide environmental standards which actually do greatly affect climate change. Not only are environmental practices positive because of reducing these emissions, but they increase profitability and sustainability for the business.